let's just go ahead and start introducing the swing. We have the hand holds and the leg loops, 2 of each, and then the main swing that spreads out. 4 carabiners, so everything's attached by these daisy chains, which comes with a full 12-piece set. And we want to just notice that it's really stretchy. It's really comfortable. It's a cotton lycra blend. It has a lot of give. It's very different than a lot of materials, so it's a little getting used to. The first thing we want to do is learn how to trust its give. So we're going to stand in the center of the mat. We use these beautiful round mandala mats to define the space. And then we're going to use our forearms to press the swing down so it's nice and low, closer to the bottom of the ribs, because it's always going to ride up. So we don't want to start with it. So it's all bunched up, so we put it behind our back like we're hugging it, right? And then once we get the hug, then we press it down. Yeah, keep it all bunched up. And then we're going to lean back, and it's the first test, right? So we test the trust, and we're going to hold on to the swing if we need to. Some people, you can see it in their eyes when they lean back, they're like, whoa, I'm not used to falling back. And then I use this diamond shape quite often with the arms. I call it a forearm press. So it's not at the eyes or really low like this. Some people, you can see their arms are just floppy. We want to keep a nice diamond with the arms. So we keep that hook and we walk it forward to the front of the mat. Now, as soon as we walk forward, we drop it down like we're sitting in a chair. And then we're going to heel toe wide, 10 and 2. Now when we're 10 and 2, I call it a sumo squat. So the feet are not 90 degrees, they're actually 45. So that way we have some room to shift our hips from side to side. So 45 with the toes, 10 and 2 on the mat. We're going to use the alignment of the mat to help define the space. And then we're just gently shifting from side to side. So this is our sumo. We can come into our twists, our side to side movements, our back bends from here. But we want to just get comfortable with this lengthening the spine out of the pelvis. This is going to be what creates space for the vertebrae. So I call it dynamic tension, where the sternum rises up and the hips are dropping down. So particularly the pubic bone, which most people are pressing forward, you want to drop and then rotate under. So your pubic bone tucks towards the back of the room. It's a little uncomfortable for people at first because their hip flexors are so tight. So we're going to really get into this hug here to help release all that tension. So I call it the lower back is locked when their hips are pressing forward. They're not used to dropping their pelvis and letting it hang. And that just takes some time. But we use the forearm press so the underarms are comfortable. There's like a tiny little goose egg that we're not going to squish by using the forearm press. If it rides up too much, you'll tell because they look like a scarecrow, right? And they're always like, you can tell by their face, it's uncomfortable. So we press straight back if that happens. So legs go straight. Swing is rode up a little bit too high, touching the underarms, and so we use our forearms. Just wiggle it back down. You don't even have to get out of the swing. You just push it down with your forearms. It's going to be right below the bra strap. It's always going to ride up, right? So after we press it back down, we're going to come back into the sumo and try it again. That looks great. So it's hooking the wings, I call it. Right? And so if the swing is too low, then it jots the ribs out. So we want to make sure we're opening up the heart and not the ribs. But if it's too high, then it's going to pull the scapulus up to the back of the head, and we don't want that either. Right? So a nice long neck, open, lifted sternum, and then hips heavy and dropped. And so we're just going to rock here. And then after a few breaths, let's press back again. Instead of adjusting it, we're going to come into what I call Chillaxin arms. So we take our diamond and we put it behind our head and interlace our fingers. And then elbows pulling away from each other, elbows wide. And then we can, this is our supported back bend. We can just gently rock from side to side. So from sumo to supported back bend, we just straighten the legs. We're going to stay up on a diagonal. So we don't lean back into a U shape. We keep the crown of the head lifted to the back top corner of the room, and that way we look like we're on a nice long diagonal, decline. So we keep the heart open and the head relaxed and the hips engaged in this particular pose, and we're opening up the side line. Now we can add a bent knee and come a little bit more into what I call weeping willow. We're going to bend from side to side. So let's go ahead and start with the right knee bent. Elbow towards the outer edge of the knee, press straight back, left knee bend. So this is just a wonderful pose for opening up the heart. practicing our back bend from the upper thoracic spine, which is really important for rearranging the posture, making sure we're leading with the heart and the head is just relaxed back into our hands. It's beautiful. And this pose I do every day. It never gets old. It massages out that stickiness behind the heart. It really allows us to create some openness in the front of the body. This is the major healer for the spine. It's opening up the front of the body. And then we're going to come back to center. And once we get to center, we're going to use our forearm press again. I'm going to pop around. We're going to heel toe to the front of the mat. I always wiggle forward to the front of the mat. That way our bum is directly underneath our plumb line. And then we're going to do some lunges. So we're going to pick up the left knee and shoot it back. Let's start with the left knee bent, right knee also bends forward. I stay up on the toes, so I stretch out so I'm in the full length of the mat. So our forearm press is what allows us to lift. So I press and lift here. So I'm going to lift straight up for the first one. We start out with levels, right? So the most beginner levels, we lift straight up. We can hold on to the swing and lift up too, if for any reason somebody needs that extra support, particularly if their arms are feeling uncomfortable. We give them lots of adjustments. And then we're going to use our forearm press again, and this time when we lift, we're going to lean back and let our sternum rotate towards the sky, and then exhale, knee drops down. Let's try that a few more times. Inhale, lift and press. Does that feel good? Exhale, drop down. Awesome. One more time, we're going to lift and press and straighten the front leg. Crown of the head goes back towards the heel for the fullest expression. And then both legs forward again from there. Let's come back into our Chillaxin arms, weeping willow from side to side. So after we go into a really strong pose, opening up the quad, the hip flexor, the psoas, we're going to reset and take a pause in our supported back bend. And it's called weeping willow because your upper body is just flapping in the wind, just letting that feel good. And review all of these cues and all these details, and there's not any need to really flourish in the beginning. It's just real simple, clear instructions so that your students or your client really just get what's important in this pose. So we're going to review one more time on the other side. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, forearm press. We make a diamond with the arms. Let's inhale, pick up the right knee and shoot it back. Keep the toes tucked under, and bend the front knee. Left knee bends forward. Stretching out to the full length of the mat. We're going to inhale, press straight up, pushing your forearms in, and then exhale, come down. Inhale, press, 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 and exhale, lower. Nice and slow and easy. Inhaling, lift, and exhaling back down. Okay, come more into a back bend. We're going to inhale, lift, and press and lean back. Oh, big stretch on the quad. Exhale, drop the knee. Inhale, lift the sternum towards the sky, press and lean back. Exhale, drop down. Good, last time. Inhale, press, lean back, and straighten the front leg. Straighten the left leg for the fullest expression. Maybe the crown of the head comes down towards the heel. You can always use your Chillaxin arms here if your neck feels strained at all. Try that. So stay with the front leg straight. Support the head with your hands, and then keep the right knee bent for now. Does that feel amazing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So upper back, upper thoracic spine is initiating the back bend. Lower back is happy. So a lot of times in yoga, we'll crunch the lower back to get deeper into the back bend, but we're going to let the upper back initiate the bend. And then slowly bring right foot forward to meet the left. Keep the Chillaxin arms. Come back into your weeping willow. Swaying it out from side to side, reset. Let that feel good. So those were our forward lunges. We're going to come into twists, and then we're going to go back and revisit our side lunges. All right, so coming through center, inhale, open the arms wide, exhale, forearm press. Let's pick up the left knee and roll onto the outer edge of the right, and we're going to step to the edge of the mat, all the way to the edge. So imagine making a figure four with your legs, so you're 90 degrees. Hip in line with the ankle, and hip in line with the knee. Beautiful. So we don't want the foot too close to the body, we want to step out to the edge so that we're making nice 90-degree turns with the alignment of the body. We're going to inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Using the forearms to press. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Feel the obliques, feel the side body starting to open up. It's a really deep stretch. Inhale, lift. Getting into those love handles. Exhale, lower. Beautiful. After 3 to 5 breaths, we're going to bring that foot back to center. Let's flex both feet back and wiggle our hips a little from side to side. And notice with that feet flexed back, it feels a little different. We can just keep them flexed, roll onto the outer edge of the left, pick up the right knee, and then step. Sometimes people forget to flex the foot, so that's the cue that I like to use. If I notice that that's happening, I step all the way to the edge, so I have this nice right angle in the body. That looks great. Inhaling, press, and exhale, lower. Some people even here might have a little neck tension. You can usually see it in their body. They can come back to Chillaxin arms. The forearm press gives you a little bit more of a lift, but that is a nice variation. Always support the head and neck if somebody needs. What we're doing is we're getting into the side body here. So that left oblique is opening up, and all of that tension that sits, that compression in the lumbar spine is what is creating lower back pain. So we're getting into that deep love handle area to release. And then we're going to inhale, lift, come on back to center. Another weeping willow, sway from side to side. I add a lot of swagger to the swing. Make sure that the swing comes down nice and low behind the heart if it needs an adjustment. This is the time to adjust. You don't have to come out of the swing. You can just press it down with your forearms. Beautiful, guys. So let's go ahead and come on back to center. Inhale, open the arms wide. Exhale, forearm press. This time we're going to come to our wide sumo. So let's go back to that first position. So instead of 10 and 2, let's walk it to 9 and 3. So we can press back and around, bending the left knee, and press back and around, bending the right. And we're just going to try going from side to side like that into a side lunge. Now there's so many different lunges we can do. I just showed you a forward lunge, now I'm going to show you a side lunge. And then we can incorporate, since we're doing yoga translations, some of the things that we traditionally do in yoga. We can try a warrior 2. I like to use the leg loops in my hands for this. I call this marionette arms, where my arms are extended, holding on, bunched up to the center of the leg loops. And then from here, if I press back, let's start with the right leg bent. I'm going to pop up into a warrior 2, but the arms are engaged. Okay, so I'm pressing my arms down as I inhale and lift, and then as I exhale, I let myself lunge a little bit deeper. So inhaling, lift, exhaling, lunge. Strong arms, inhale, lift, exhale. So the arms get involved, and we're going to lean back. Let's try second side. So we're going to bend the left knee. First, we just come into our side lunge where we just press the hips forward. Then we can lift up into alignment. And now our arms are supporting our weight. So inhale, lift, press down. Exhale, lower into the lunge. Make sure you change your foot positions into the warrior 2 stance if you know what that is. I'm not going to give as much yoga instruction so you can focus on the swing. So we're going to exhale, lower one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, and then come on back around. So we can just play a little bit from side to side if we don't want to come fully into the warrior 2 version, but I just want to show you how to incorporate the leg loops in your hands for that one. Awesome, let's go ahead and release those. Just continue to enjoy swing from side to side. We're going to come through and into wings, and then we're going to get into our forward folds. Okay, so from here, let's walk our feet back towards center. Well, actually, let me show you 2 versions. So if I'm in my sumo squat and I wanted to come into a wide straddle forward fold, so going from yoga translation 1 to 2, I could simply come forward with my heart, shooting my hips back and bending my elbows. So you can try that transition. So that's one way to go right into it. So from there, we can kind of rock forward and back onto our toes. We want to make sure that our hips are directly over our heels. So when I make a fist with my hands, I'm pulling them towards my shoulders, so the hands come all the way up here. Yeah. So instead of being down here, we're up here. Yeah. So it's nice and strong with the arms. It's a little bit different, right? Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do is we're going to come on back to our sumo squat. So just sink your hips back. onto the swing for the transition. And we're going to try coming through angel wings. We'll heel toe the feet together, and this is like our first kind of flying pose. We're just going to bring our arms wide, and we're going to push forward and back. So sometimes our angels can be really small, depending on how advanced our pupils are. And then if somebody is really comfortable, we can press our hips all the way forward and come up, all the way forward. It's going to be really strong, yeah. And then we can drop the knees and swim all the way back. Swim the arms overhead. And then drop the knees again, swim all the way forward, and press, press, press. Good. And then all the way back again. So we can come forward and back through angel wings, which is like super fun. And then on the next one, when we come forward, we bend the elbows and bring the legs out wide. So you can either come into the wide straddle forward fold from a sumo, or you can walk it out wide from angel wings. When I'm with a more playful group, I like to come in and out of angel wings so they get that sensation of floating and flying. Okay, so our hands are up high by our shoulders, our feet are wide, heels turned out, and now we're moving into 2A. So this is a swing at the elbows. We're going to try a just simple forward fold, and then from here we'll add some strengthening. So it's our first hint of how we can use the swing to really build some upper body strength. So our most important thing here that I see is that the tailbone and the crown of the head are in a straight line. So you want to think of this as a horizontal axis. Okay, like there's a pillar of light going from the entire length of the spine. So the head doesn't drop, and our tailbone is arched and lifted so that our head and tailbone can be in that straight line. And then from there we can try swaying from side to side, which is kind of nice. Just letting our gaze trace the outer edge of the mat. And then what we're going to do is drop one hand down. So let's keep the right elbow hooked, and the left hand can drop to the front of the mat. So for these, I like to twist, and it's always good to bring out the spine. I'm going to inhale, lift, and exhale, twist. Pull your right your fist towards your chest. Yes, that's it. And then inhale, lengthen the spine again. Exhale, lift down. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, lift down. So this can replace your need for chiropractic adjustments. If you really get into the spinning and twisting and wringing out the spine, it feels really good. That looks great. So I like to be up on my fingertips, so I'm lifting my chest a little bit. Yeah, so we're not collapsing. That's it. And then inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Beautiful. This time, inhale, look forward. Exhale, straighten the top arm. Okay, I'm going to hold on to the swing, and I'm going to swing it overhead. So there's going to be an X in the swing. So we're rotating the shoulder, right? So we lift our gaze. We lift our left hand and thread both of them through. Okay? So don't worry about the leg loops. We're not going to use them quite yet. But now when we drop our chest, we keep our head lifted. So head above the arms. Yeah, it's a little bit different. Look forward and that'll help, right? Yes, there you go. So we're keeping both the front and back of the neck long, but we're looking forward. And then this is with straight arms, we're pressing and lifting. Press, 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 and lift. That's it. Really strong. Exhale, lower down. This is getting into the underbelly of the arms. We keep pressing out into the heels. Inhale, lift, spreading the sit bones. Exhale, drop. Really good. Nice and slow and controlled. Inhale, lift. Press, press, press. Ah, strong arms, right? Exhale, drop down. Beautiful. Next time we lift, we're going to come all the way up to stand. Lift, 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 and release the left hand up and over. So over the top, through the center of the swing, and then come on down, release, right hand down to the center of the mat. We switch sides. So the fist is pulling towards the sternum. That's really key here. So what we're going to do is we make a fist. We kind of, I call it flexing. So we're going to flex, right? Pull it in. Inhale, lift, and then exhale, twist. There you go. Pulling the tailbone away from the crown of the head. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, lift down. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. This is going to help us get into some of our super fly positions because we really want to get the ergonomics and the engagement down in the shoulders correctly, especially if there's an injury. If there's any sort of injury in the rotator cuff, behind the scapula, into the subscapula, this will actually start to mobilize the shoulder in a really good way. Start to build the strength of the underbody of the belly and arms. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, go ahead and lift down, holding on to the swing, we straighten the arm. So now, with a straight arm, when we sway it overhead, there's no X. But then we're going to get both hands holding on. We're going to bend the elbows for this one. So we learn how to press, right? It's like a little tricep press. First, we're just going to bend the knees and let ourselves play with it side to side. Right? So a lot of play in the swing is really helpful. So let the head be nice and lifted. So if your head's heavy, it's pulling on the C7 joint, right? Yeah. So ears are always above the biceps. That's a good measurement. Ears above the biceps. That looks great. And nice long spine. Then when we come to center, we're going to look forward. Inhale, lift, 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 and press. Straight arms as you come up. Pull the hips back as you move forward. Exhale, lower. Nice and strong and controlled. That's it. Inhale, press, 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 and lift. That's it. Good. Exhale, lower down. This is how I prepare people to get the arm strength to push up into some of the acrobatics. Doesn't that help with the underbelly of the arms? This is the flappy part that hardly ever gets engaged. So these poses really help use the full multidimensional nature of the arms. And then we're going to press all the way up to stand. Inhale, press, 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 come on up. And then hop to the center of the mat. Okay, good. That was really great. So we had a twist there. We did the arm presses. We went a little bit from side to side. Now we're ready for our forward fold. So we're coming into the swing at the front of the hips. Now when we push the swing down, we are going to lean forward with the hips, but we're going to keep our head in line with our body. So we don't bend at the waist. We don't bend yet. So instead of coming into an L shape, we're just learning how to be out on a diagonal. And trust that. It's a little bit of trust there. And then from there, we're going to bend at the hip flexors and come down. So we want to practice on coming down with control, just like angel wings, and see if we can get a little bit of grip with the balls of the feet and press, press, press to come up. So we're learning how to use the back body to move in and out of the poses. Now, if that's difficult, just kind of bring your hands down, but I want you to really notice that if you press the hips forward, that's how you come up. That's why we always move from that space of working with the hips. Okay, great. So once you come on down, feet are going to be hip distance, center of the mat, and we keep pressing our hips over so that they are draping over the front of the mat. And our head is going to be really close to the ground. So if we are bending at our hip flexors, lifting our sit bones towards the sky, then the crown of the head gets closer to the floor. Heels are lifted, so we're not rocking back onto our heels. We're actually pressing forward the whole time. Beautiful. Clasping the elbows, we're going to make sure, again, that the biceps are in line with the ears, so we pull the biceps forward. Instead of pulling our head down, we actually pull our biceps up. Yes, there we go. There we go. That arches the upper back. So the other way the back rounds, and this way the back stays long. Beautiful. It's okay if you're close to the ground or up really high. Either way is fine. And then after we sway a little bit from side to side and get that massaging out of the hip flexors, we're going to come into our down dog just by stretching it out. So we're stretching all the way forward. Big stretch. Okay, and then from this position, we're going to let ourselves pull forward. I call it the cat's meow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale, go ahead and pull your navel up towards the sky and round the back. Just see if you can undulate the spine a few times like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round in. So really, round the back, the arch. Yes, pull up. That's beautiful. Inhale, lift. Open up the heart. Exhale, lower. Pull in, navel towards the sky. Inhale, lift. Now let's go ahead and add a leg. So we're going to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, pull the knee to nose. Squeeze. Inhale, lift. Leg up. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. And then we'll just have the dog leg as well. Just like that. We're going to do second side, and then we're going to come back and revisit that for a one-legged dog. Inhale, lift, arch. Let's lift the left leg up too. Nice long line of energy. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Squeeze. Inhale and lift. Nice. Exhale, pull knee to nose. Inhale and lift. long lines of energy, and exhale, lower. Let's just go ahead and wag the tail, reset. For some people, that really engages the back body. We want to activate the core in that practice, as well as the full length of the spine. So let's go back to the first side. Inhale, lift the right leg up. So instead of bending knee to nose, what we're going to do is hook the toes outside in. So look up for a second here. So we're going to look out to the side and then bend the knee and hook the toes outside in. Yeah. So most people are going to see the center of the swing here. If you hook, then it's not wrapped around the leg. So we want to make sure outside in is always our hook. And then we're going to keep the knee bent close to the bum. Now we press our chest back. And when we press our chest back, we get a big stretch. We're grounding the left heel now. Big stretch through the back body. Just take a few breaths there. We build on that sequence in our advanced series, but we're going to bring that foot down. Once again, wag the tail. Stretch it out. And then lifting the left leg up. Inhale, arch and open. Exhale, bend the knee out to the side and hook the foot around. So not inside out. We have to kick the leg loop out of the way and then hook the toes. Yes, that's it. If you kick the leg loop, you're in the right place. And then press back. So we're lifting the sit bones towards the sky the whole time, pressing the chest towards the standing leg, and then just giving a few breaths into the back of the hamstring. Big stretch to the right side. Strong arms. So we're going to inhale and pull forward and just mix it up a little bit here. Let's come into our up dog. Now both knees bent. Hook both feet outside in. Yeah, now we get to float. And I'm going to inhale, pull forward for up dog. Nice big stretch. Exhale, press back. Straight arms, upside down dog. So we're about a foot off the front of the mat. Inhale, pull forward. Big stretch through the chest and belly. Can you feel that? Does that feel amazing? So pull the feet down nice and tight towards your bum. So we want to keep that hook. Yes. So the knees pull down towards the ground. Yeah. And then exhale, press back. If our feet float away, we're going to lose that hook. So particularly with new people, we want to make sure that they get to play nice and safe in some of these poses. Inhale, pull forward and stretch. Yes. Big stretch. Exhale, press back. Now we're going to drop down onto our forearms and take a little rest. So this is our version of a headstand. So I can be at the front of the mat, I can be at the center of the mat. If you walk towards the center of the mat, you have more weight on the front of the head. So you to the side, where does it feel good? Fingers interlaced, elbows in line with the shoulders, making a nice equilateral triangle. And then my feet are still hooked, or I can release my toes and pull my knees together, let my ankles touch, and my knees pull down towards my chest so I float. Either way is completely a wonderful inversion. So this is the only inversion we do in our basic training as a headstand. Even in a down dog or a forward fold, we can be half upside down, but this is really our first inversion. And then we're going to float, so we're just going to go from there to straight legs. So we're on our forearms, and our toes are not quite touching yet. We're just floating at the front of the mat. So whenever we want to take a break, a floating leap or a folded leap is a great option. And then from there, we're going to come back and press up onto our hands and come into our plank pose. Now, plank pose is really great for accessing our chaturungas. Okay, so floating plank is with our feet level with our hips, straight arms, and then we can dip. So my hands are at the front of the mat. There's not a whole lot of weight there. And I like to try the easy chaturungas first. From there, we can actually pull forward and back into our knee to elbow. So this is, again, a big, intense stretch and pressure for the hip flexor. So if that's too much, you just do little baby ones. But I kind of like it. I like the squeeze of pulling the knee forward. So just go as far as it feels good. And then we're going to leapfrog into Bakasana and pull both knees forward. And keep the arms straight if you can, and see if you can touch the outer elbow. Beautiful. That's it. So we have a little fun with it too. So we're not trying to hold it. We'll hold it for like maybe a microsecond, and then we just swim back again. If we wanted to do the more challenging push-ups, we're going to bend both knees, hook the feet outside in one more time for our up dog. Perfect. And then we're going to walk our hands towards the center of the mat, maybe about halfway. Now in this position, when we come into our push-ups, we let our elbows flare out to the sides a little bit more. And we're dipping with our, let's just say our chin. We're not dipping with our forehead, we're dipping with our chest. And you can feel that there's more weight on the arms, so that's preparing us how to do the handstands and whatnot in the more advanced practice. Beautiful. So let's walk back to the front of the mat. Let's release our feet back down to our dog. Wag our tail. Happy dog. And we'll come out with angel wings. So if we were going to do a really shorter version of the practice, we could just come into our forward fold, feet at the center of the mat. Clasp the elbows and hang. Come back down to our plank pose. Come into, from there, our floating leaf. And then from our floating leaf, we come into our headstand. So if we wanted to shorten that to get into a headstand, we could just come from forward fold into a floating leaf into a headstand. So that would be the restorative version. Some people with the down dog and the up dog, all the push-ups and stuff, it's not quite for them yet. So if we want to come out of our headstand, we just let our toes be heavy. Stretch out our arms back to our dog, and then I like to walk it forward. So walking forward with the hands, walking forward with the feet, keep walking forward, and then we come up through wings. Once we get to the top, we hold on to the swing and come up. That's all of number 1 and 2. We're going to review that a little bit more slowly and break it down into little pieces, but I'm pretty sure that will be easy for a person with more experience, and then we'll just go through and ask some questions.